Hey guys, if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I have been teasing a little bit about some horrible food I have made on this journey. Check out my dogs, they're hanging out with us. We love it. So, I am going to tell you all about the horrible food, and there are going to be photos on the blog that's included with this. Pippers, you want to say hi? Oof, this is Pippi. She says hello. Mwah. So, the first horrible meal was something that was based on something my mom makes, which we call cream peas. And we usually eat cream peas on toast or over potatoes. And I didn't have peas. I only had peas and carrots. And how my mom does it is she takes the can of peas and she dumps it into a saucepan on the stove. She gets it warm. She mixes in maybe a teaspoon or two of sugar. She sweetens it. I choose not to just because I think peas are really sweet already. Then she puts milk in there, gets it all hot, and then puts a little bit of flour, water, roux in until it's thick, and then she just pours it over toast. Pretty simple, straightforward, right? Well, it would be, except I don't really eat a lot of dairy, so the only milk I have is like the shelf-stable container of milk that was in the pantry, and it turns out that tastes disgusting. It's really gross. They're like, it's just milk. And I'm like, what did you do to my milk? It's gross. So I used that milk in it, which I think was a major misstep. The fact maybe that it was carrots and peas, I don't know, maybe that was a major problem too. And then to top it off, I don't have any flour because, I do a lot of Whole30s, and so I don't eat much wheat unless I'm eating out or something, but on my regular basis, I don't keep it around the house. So the only thing I had was an unopened package of guar gum, which I've never used before. Wait, is that what I have? Yes, it's guar gum. And I was like, well, let's try it. Which that seemed to work just fine. It didn't seem to have a taste, but the milk just ruined it. It was sweet and off and gross. So then I was like, okay, before I tasted it, I thought, well, I'll just dump, a can of tuna in there. This is my favorite kind of tuna. I get it at Costco. And it'll be like tuna casserole, kind of, whatever. So basically, I ruined a delicious can of tuna. So then I had 3 servings of this goop, which you'll see photos of, to eat. And I made it through 2, and I just couldn't do the third. So I tossed it, and I feel horrible guilty, but the idea of eating it made me gag. So then I kept back a little bit of the peas and carrots from the can, and I had a single pouch of cauliflower rice, like shelf-stable cauliflower rice. And that can and that pouch were the last of the vegetables I have until I had the miraculous revelation that I found a little half bag of frozen, kind of freezer burnt, kale. And I was like, yes, I have kale! Probably the most excited person you've ever seen for kale. So I kept a little bit of the peas and carrots back, and I took the cauli rice, and I did like a super traditional stir-fried rice with that cauli rice. You fry the rice off, dry it out a little bit. You do some, if you're a Whole30 person, you'll do coconut aminos, maybe some fish sauce, some sesame seed oil, toasted sesame oil, salt, pepper, stir-fry some eggs, pretty straightforward. How do they destroy cauliflower? How did they ruin cauliflower to put in a pouch? I don't know. It smelled off. It tasted. I had to drown the thing in sesame oil to make it palatable. I have 1 serving left, and it's my dinner. So I will eat 1 more serving of that. So it's been an interesting week of terrible food. And I think I must have hit a wall because Wednesday I just was like, no, I don't want to eat this disgusting food. All I had were those 2 disgusting meals prepared. I said, I don't want to eat these disgusting meals. I was stressed out. I had a client meeting that I was anxious about. So I went to Starbucks and I got Starbucks. And then I kind of binged. I was like, I need egg bites and a ham and cheese croissant and a sugar plum Danish. And I went over to my best friend's house and I drank all this coffee. And I ate all that food, and I felt so sick. And then I was like, I have to do all the things. So then I ran around doing all the things, and then I ate Taco Bell for lunch. And then I got one of the worst headaches I've ever had in my life, which I commented about on Instagram. I've never had a headache where I felt nauseous and sick from it. I ended up going to bed very early, sleeping very hard, and I woke up feeling great, thankfully, but I think that I just couldn't face going home and eating food, and then I paid the consequence for it, like I certainly did. I can't remember feeling so bad in forever, so that was tough. Other than that, though, that one day, 2 meals, still kind of on track to eat everything. Still have a lot of food. I have a lot of meat. I have a lot of sauces in jars. Pasta sauce, marinara, Alfredo. I don't eat pasta, but I use it for other things. I just have 0 vegetables. And since I've done several Whole30s, I've gotten to the point where vegetables are straight up half my plate all the time. And I'm very used to cooking meat in some sort of sauce and then just dumping the meat on top of some lettuce and calling it a meal. And unfortunately, I don't have any other vegetables. I have a little bit of kale left. So I'm going to do some sort of, there's a kale potato recipe in one of my Whole30 books. I'm going to do some sort of mashed potatoes with kale in it. And I have some caramelized onion burgers from Alfresco, chicken burgers. And then I have 0 vegetables. And I've decided, since my not having vegetables and tasty food resulted in the binge eating of the Starbucks and Taco Bell, that since I said I could end this whenever I wanted to, and I could, there were no rules, and I wasn't going to get stressed out about it, because when I do that, I end up doing stupid things, that what I'm going to do is continue the challenge, but I am going to go to the store and pick up some vegetables, but I have set kind of like a monetary budget where I'm going to stick to, I want to say, $10 or $15. I'm going to have to go look and see kind of what they're priced at my local vegetable liquidation, but I think $10 probably, and see how far, just picking up like $10 worth of vegetables and then just eating what I have in the house, see how far that can get me. I still have 4 chicken thighs. I have 3 packs of different kinds of like chicken sausage. I've got 2 or 3 pounds of beef, all bought at 50% off, mind you, to save future me, current me, money. But I just don't feel it healthful, because my blood sugars have been running a little bit high because it's so carby, to not have vegetables. So I will not risk my health for a blog post, even though I love all the comments and I super love the support, and I hope that some of it is inspiring to you. I got great feedback on the last post on the savings on the laundry soap and dishwasher detergent, because so many people had not thought to just use a little less. If you use half as much, it'll go twice as long, and you didn't change anything in terms of buying or shopping or what you're using. So give that a shot as well. This was a long video, but I wanted to share with you kind of the gross stuff. And you'll see the pictures in the post and the update. And then, like I said, I'm going to probably go tomorrow and just pick up some vegetables to keep it going, because I still have quite a bit in the back of my pantry that needs to just kind of get into rotation. I got so used to doing food boxes, because I have this whole food box thing where I can rotate all the food boxes and I get them for very cheap. I'm going to do a post on that too. For a single person, food boxes are so inexpensive, and if you're somebody who wants to cook from scratch, they're great. But I got so used to it that I wasn't really cooking from home and doing shopping, and that actually became very stressful, and it was a bit of a handicap. So I'm going to write on that, and I'll tell you about the boxes, and I just want to thank everybody for your support. And there is some big, if you stayed here this long, good deal, because there is some big news coming on the next post, which will be by Tuesday. So next Tuesday, I have big news to blog about, and then I actually have another big thing to blog about. So keep it on, because you'll actually get 3 posts next week, 2 really big, huge, cool things, and then you'll get your Friday update, which talks about how I continue to eat around the house, and with a very small food budget, just to see how we can do and how far we can stretch. So thank you so much for your support. I appreciate any comments that you give. I know I don't have fancy lighting, computers and cameras and stuff, but I think we're doing pretty good. Suggestions or advice, always welcome. I am literally covered with dogs. You cannot see it, but I have 4 dogs on top of me right now, and I love every minute of it. So thank you so much, and have a wonderful Friday. I'd love to hear how any challenges that you are pursuing are going. Goodbye.